And now, Backstage Wife, the story of Mary Noble and what it means to be the wife of a famous star. This is the day before Larry Noble is scheduled to appear in court, charged with the murder of Oliver Wilson, who was found hanging in the wings backstage at the Hamilton Theater just off Broadway, where Larry was starring in a play. And right now, Larry is being visited at the New York City jail by a heavily veiled woman who has kept her identity concealed for some days past. But as the door closes behind her, and she lifts up the veil, we hear...
Larry, you've got to do something, and you've got to do it fast.
Claudia Vincent. Oh, just a minute, Claudia. Take it easy, will you?
I mean it, Larry. You've got to do something about that wife of yours, or I absolutely refuse to have anything more to do with this case.
Oh, I don't get it. What are you talking about?
Well, last night I was sitting quietly with your friend Lester Jordan in his apartment, and suddenly your wife Mary appeared without so much as a word of warning, and she started hurling the most abusive insults at me.
Oh, no. What the devil does she mean by doing a thing like that?
Oh, Larry, it was perfectly horrible, and I couldn't stop her. You know, I honestly think she's cracked under the strain of her own guilt and her behavior with Rupert Barlow. Larry, she ought to be put away, at least until after your trial is over.
Oh, Claudia, I don't know what I'm going to do. I told my lawyer yesterday to keep an eye on Mary, but it's obvious he's done nothing about it.
Well, you'd better do something in a hurry if you expect me to stand by and testify for you at your murder trial. Larry, I don't intend to go into that courtroom tomorrow and have Mary shouting her head off that I killed Oliver Wilson and that I'm just trying to hide behind you to protect myself.
Oh, this is rotten for you, Claudia. I'm sorry. I guess you know I didn't want it to happen.
That's all very well, Larry, darling, and I do want to help you. I proved that, haven't I, by staying on in New York even though I was in great danger.
Claudia, you've been grand. I can't tell you how I appreciate it.
Well, then, Larry, can't you have Mary committed to a sanatorium or something?
No.
Well, I don't see why not. She's going to ruin your only chance to be acquitted. Oh, Larry, this is far too serious to take chances with.
Don't I know it? On the other hand, Claudia, it's not easy to manage Mary once she gets an idea into her head.
Well, maybe you rather I just left town and let you and your wife work out your destiny.
No, I hope you won't do that, Claudia. I'm depending on you more than you know.
But you still don't care enough to take my part against your wife. Oh, Larry, how can you go on being so blind, so devoted after all Mary's done to you since you've been here in this jail?
For your information, Claudia, not for outside. Mary and I are entirely through as of right now.
Well, you wouldn't know it, the way she's carrying on with Rupert Barlow.
I know that when this is over, if I'm a free man, I mean to give Mary a divorce.
And suppose she doesn't want it?
Then I'll get it myself.
Are you quite sure you mean that, Larry?
I was never more sure of anything in my life.
Oh, you poor darling. Oh, at last you're waking up.
I guess it's about time, Claudia.
Oh, it is, Larry, it really is. Oh, but, darling, I won't make you talk about that anymore. This is far more serious. Larry, you've got to make sure that Mary doesn't make any of these wild declarations in court.
I give you my word that Mary will not interfere with your testimony again. Not after I talk to her.
And I'll take your word for it, Larry. Because I want to be the one to help you out of this awful charge of murder. I want you to think of me as the friend who stood by when everything looked black.
I already do, Claudia.
And when this is over and you're free, in every sense, perhaps I can help you to forget. Oh, I hope so, darling. You've suffered so much.
And at the same time, Mary Noble is back once again at the door of the apartment of Larry's friend Lester Jordan in the East 50s in New York, ringing the bell. Mary thinks to herself,
I know that Claudia Vincent must be out, because the plainclothes man who's been down in the lobby isn't there now. But suppose there's nobody home at all. Suppose I can't get in. Oh, there isn't any time to waste. Please answer, please. How do you do, Mrs. Lawson? You're Mr. Jordan's housekeeper, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Well, don't you remember me? I'm Mrs. Noble. My husband and I used to visit Mr. Jordan quite frequently in the past.
Mrs. Noble. Why, bless my soul, of course. Oh, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, and I couldn't recognize you standing there in the hall. Come in, Mrs. Noble. Please come in.
Oh, thank you.
I'm afraid there's no one at home except me. Mr. Jordan's been staying at his club, the Green Room Club, you know, because of Miss Claudia Vincent being here for the time being. Mrs. Noble, I just don't know how to say this, but of course I see the papers like everyone else, and I can't help reading about the terrible trouble you're having in your family, what with your husband going to trial for his life and all.
It's been very difficult, Mrs. Lawson. The trial opens tomorrow, and we're all very much on edge.
Oh, bless you, Mrs. Noble. Of course you are. And I'll be saying a prayer for you till it's all over.
That's very good of you.
I remember how nice it was seeing the two of you together. Mr. Jordan used to say to me, if he could find a woman to be happy with, like Mr. Noble and you, he'd be married these long years.
That's very sweet.
And now, you know, it looks like Mr. Jordan's getting interested in that Miss Vincent. Though I don't mind telling you, I wouldn't trust the likes of her, not as far as I could throw her. Making up to him, being so sweet butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. And then giving me orders like I was the dirt under her feet the minute he's gone. She's no lady, and that's a fact.
I'm sorry you've had such a disagreeable time, Mrs. Lawson. It was very nice of Mr. Jordan to allow Miss Vincent to stay here, though. He's doing it because she's going to testify at my husband's trial.
So I understand. Though what she'll have to say that would help a person, I don't know. What I'm wondering is, how long after the trial is ended will she stay here?
I'm sure I don't know.
Oh, well now, Mrs. Noble, it's no good talking the head off you all this time. Won't you come inside and let me fetch you a nice cup of tea?
Well, thank you, Mrs. Lawson, but I'm afraid I haven't time.
Nonsense, it'll only take a minute or two, and you can make yourself at home.
Well, in that case, do you mind if I freshen up a bit?
What?
I've been running around town and I'm terribly dirty.
Why, you go right ahead. Take that room right there. That's where Miss Vincent's staying. Heaven knows what kind of a mess she's left it in. Never puts a thing away. Oh, perhaps you'd better come through here and into the study.
Oh, this'll be just fine. I won't be a minute. Just comb my hair and freshen my makeup.
But then let me open the door and turn on the light. Oh, Lord, save us when you look at the place. And at that, it's not as bad as usual.
Oh, it'll be just fine, thank you.
Very well, then. I'll go along to the kitchen, and I'll have tea for you now in no time.
Don't make it too soon. I've got to search this place thoroughly. Now, where shall I begin? The dressing table? I might find something. Oh, nothing but cold creams and lipsticks and cosmetics. Nothing here. Better try the dresser. I suppose I'm a fool to think Claudia might have kept them instead of throwing them away at once, but it's my only chance. If I could just find them. Claudia Vincent isn't going to court and tell everyone that Larry didn't kill Oliver Wilson because Larry locked Claudia into a dressing room and was with her at the time. It's a lie. And I've got to prove it. I've got to. Not a sign of them. Not in any of the drawers. Maybe in the closet. Yes, it's hopeless. Yet I had to try. Nothing here on the floor, just her shoes. Mrs. Lawson will be back and she'll wonder what I'm up to. I can't spend any more time. And yet, maybe if I just look inside these cases. No, not in this pocket. Maybe on the side. Wait. This may be what I'm looking for. It's just possible. Oh, please, if only I found the proof. If only I...
Did you find everything you needed, Mrs. Noble? Good gracious. Whatever are you doing crouched down there in the closet?
Mrs. Lawson, I think I found something terribly important.
What?
I haven't time to explain. It's something I've been searching for in vain.
What?
Just try to believe that I didn't come here just to cause you trouble. It's a matter of life and death.
Mrs. Noble.
Would you try to tidy up just a little so that Miss Vincent won't know I was here?
Good gracious, I don't understand at all.
I know you don't, but I'll explain later. Please just trust me a little. And don't let a soul know I was here.
Well, if you say so, Mrs. Noble. But what about the tea? I have it all ready in the living room.
I can't wait, Mrs. Lawson. There's something I must do, and it can't wait a single minute.
Mrs. Lawson watches Mary Noble's exit in complete astonishment. But Mary isn't even aware of her, or of anything except the object of her search, which she has stuffed into the pocket of her coat. Where is she headed, and what will be the result? Well, be sure to be listening tomorrow to Backstage Wife, the story of Mary Noble and her husband Larry Noble, famous Broadway stars.